Hey guys, I am here this week to bring you the training that you guys asked for, which was on Discovery Call. So there's a lot that can go into this. There's a lot of different elements, I feel like, to really get this right. So um, actually took some notes. So if you see me looking over here, that is what I'm doing just because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to forget any of the important things that you guys need to know as you get into booking discovery sessions, clarity calls, whatever you want to call them, and really just getting clients on board, getting clients to actually pay for your services, and you being able to talk about your value in a way that makes them really want your product and make them really want to work with you. So, the first thing I think that you really have to get down is just your confidence in yourself, in your coaching, and in your pricing as well. I feel like you have to know your product and your program inside out. You have to know exactly the results that you can get for people. You have to know how it works. You have to feel comfortable, when somebody asks you a question about your program or like what are they going to walk away with, like you have to know that and you have confidence in that, because if you don't, the person on the other end of the phone is totally going to feel that. Also, the reason why I said pricing is because sometimes I feel like we maybe price things on based on what other people are doing, or based on industry standards, and it just may not feel really good for you. So when I first started with my coach, I paid my coach a lot of money. I think it was 7,500, I think, for 3 months. And immediately she was just like, raise your prices. I think I had him at 2,500. She wanted me to raise them to 5,000. And it just didn't feel right to me. I wasn't in the frame of mind. I didn't have that confidence yet that I needed. So I did not raise my prices to 5,000 just because she suggested that I did. I went with my gut, and I knew that I could easily sell at 2,500. And then once I actually got a couple at the 2,500 and it felt really good, then I bumped it up to, I think, like 3,000 and then 3,500. And it's just kind of been going up and up since then. But the point is, don't come up with a price just because you think that is what it's supposed to be. Make sure that it feels really good for you. Make sure that if you go through the different things of the program and all the different facets, that it really is that valuable and that it feels really good for you. On the other end, don't undercharge. So if you have this program that has 24/7 access to you, and they're with you for 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, and you're charging like $500, like you're totally devaluing yourself. So make sure that there's that happy medium and that it just feels really good, because if you really believe in your program and you really believe that you can get the results, that will sell itself in it. So that, I think, is definitely the first thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to discovery sessions and selling your services to people. The next thing I want to talk about is mindset. And this was huge in the difference between how I used to do discovery sessions before and how I do them now. I was always really attached to the outcome. I always felt like if I didn't close a deal, or the person wouldn't like me, or that it would be weird for me to ask them for the sale. I just had a bunch of shit. And I feel like we all do. We have this thing when it comes to selling, like we think we're being sleazy, or we think that we're taking people's money, or, that is all shit that we have to get over if we really want to achieve those 10K months, 20K months, whatever that success looks like for you. You have to reframe and know that you are not selling anybody on anything, that you are really just helping them. You are giving them a solution to a problem that they have. So by not giving them solution, and by knowing, from the conversation that you can help them and not offering that to them or feeling icky about it, that's no bueno. That is not good. You have to really believe that you are there to help them, and that will come across. They'll feel that energy and they'll just know. I mean, in my experience, I know that, all of the clients that I've worked with one-on-one, they have literally been brought to me. Like, I literally called them into me, and I know that they worked with me because they were meant to work with me. And the ones that said no, worked with people that they were meant to work with. So always keep that in mind, that your clients that are meant to work with you will work with you. And like I said, just see it differently. Don't see it as selling. Don't see it as a sales call. See it as, exactly what we call it, a discovery session. You are there to help them discover what it is that they truly want. You're there to help them discover what is blocking them from getting what they truly want and why they're not there yet. And then you're just going to position yourself as the solution. It's really very simple. So if you're just still having like these thoughts around it and this ickiness that's coming up, then just check in with yourself and find out where that's coming from. Usually it does come from somewhere. So maybe you got sold on a coach that didn't deliver, or maybe, something happened where you felt like you were pressured. So check in with yourself on that, and if some forgiveness needs to be done around that, then take care of that, because I want you to just get really confident in who you are and who you can serve, so that way when you have that person on the phone and they are the ideal person, the enrollment process is effortless. They know that they need to work with you. You know that you need to work with them. And likewise, it's, you just being so sure of that as well, so that you don't hire the wrong clients. You don't want to take on clients that aren't your ideal clients, because they're going to make your job way more difficult. They're not going to get the results. So also keep that in mind. If you're coming from this place of, oh, I just need to take clients, then you are going to fail miserably. It's just not going to work, because they're going to feel the desperation. They're going to feel that bad energy, and they're not going to want to work with you. I, had to learn this lesson the hard way. And really the other thing is to trust your instinct when it comes to a client. And I always say hiring a client, and I want you to kind of get in that frame of mind as well. It's like, a lot of times, because everyone, there's all these groups and all these coaches, people literally think that they are, can go on this whole rampage and interview, 10 coaches or whatever. And, they end up hiring the one that they want, or the one that's the best deal, or whatever it is. My theory is, I'm the coach, I'm the leader, and if I'm going to work with you, you need to be the right fit for my program, and I want you to get that in your head as well. So essentially, I'm hiring you as the client and not the other way around. I made a mistake last week, and I hired somebody. I keep saying that. I took on a client that just wasn't. I kind of had that gut feeling in the beginning that it wasn't going to be the best, but once we got on the phone, like, things were a little bit different, and I was just like, yeah, I think I can do this, but it turns out that I was wrong, and, so I had to let her go, and it was a $15,000 sale. So, I essentially, valued what I had to offer and being able to get my clients the results over just taking somebody's money, because she wasn't a good fit, period. I wasn't a good fit for her. She wasn't a good fit for me. I think that we were just in two completely different places. So just having that confidence in yourself and who that person is that you want to work with and your program will make this enrollment process a lot easier. The next thing is to just ditch the desperation. This goes back to kind of what I was saying with the mindset stuff, is when you're holding on so tightly, like, I need this client, it never works. It never works, guys. There's been so many times over the past couple of years where I've gotten to that point where I'm just like, I need money. I need whatever. And it just never worked. I never got the money, ever. So let go of the desperation, let go of the outcome, and just go with the flow. Do what you are meant to do here. Uncover those blocks. Find out what's stopping them. And if you can be the one that helps them, then you need to be the one that helps them. The next thing is to just really set the frame of the call. So you want to let the person know as soon as you get on the phone exactly what the call is for. So this is one of probably the top lessons that I've learned about having discovery calls, is being able to set the frame in a way that you are both on board and you're both on the same page as to what the call is for. So this happens a lot where, people book discovery sessions or clarity sessions, and essentially they just want a free coaching session. So what you want to do here is let them know at the beginning of the call what it's for. So if I get someone on the phone, it's usually, if it's not already established, beforehand, I usually let them know, I understand that this call is to see if we're a good fit to work together, or to see if you're a good fit for one of my programs. Is that correct? Get that down ASAP within the first 5 minutes of the call. Because if you get someone on the call and you ask them that question and they say, no, not really, or I'm just in financial straits, or I'm really just, I just wanted to find out a little bit more about your program, get them off the phone as soon as you can. Really just be the authority, be the leader, and be the one who puts your foot down and says, like, this is what it's about, and stand with that and have those boundaries, because that's going to make all the difference in the call. And it's not going to be a surprise to them at the end of the call when you offer your services. They know from the first 5 minutes of the call, the purpose of the call is to find out if working together is a good fit. So it isn't going to be a surprise at the end when you let them know, hey, I have something that, I think can help. Would you like to hear about it? They're going to say yes. And then you can talk about your program and you can tell them how much it is and all of that stuff. Next is just to really explore points A and points B. So point A is where they are right now, stuck, overwhelmed, confused, sad, overweight, whatever it is, that point that they're at right now that they're seeking change. Point B is where they want to be. So do they want to be 20 pounds lighter? Do they want to have a better sex life? Do they want to feel better in their clothes? Do they want to have $10,000 months? Whatever that is, really play up on that point B and find out why they want it. Usually it's, they give you that surface answer, like I want 10K, but you have to kind of dig deep to find out why. What is the 10K going to do? Is it going to help you pay off debts? Is it going to, get you the home of your dreams? It's going to afford you to pay for schooling for your children. Find out what that is. Really dig deep here. And as coaches, we know that's what we have to do. So really explore those 2 points. And once you have, point A and point B, your job is to now position yourself as the solution to get them from point A to point B. So another really important note is to take notes. Literally take notes on everything that they're saying, because you want to be able to use those words. So if they say, I want 10K a month to pay off my student loans and, put a down payment on a house. You want to reiterate that at another time in the call to remind them of the things that they really want, to remind them that if they're able to make these changes, they can have that. But if they stay the same, then it might be 6 months, another year, another 2 years, and they're still going to be in the same place. So it's your job to take them on that journey from point A to point B and position yourself as the one who can take them there. I feel like a lot of people focus on the point A. So they focus on the what's wrong and why isn't it working and why are you seeking out my help. My trick is to really focus on the other piece, because most people just ask, what do you want, but don't really explore that. So really play that up. Really play up all of those possibilities that if they were to take your program, if they were to work with you, what they would get by doing so. The next thing is to ask them how long they want to wait before they make a change. So once you've gotten them from point A to B and they're, hyped and they're ready and the possibilities are looking amazing and they're like, yes, I want 10K a month because I'll be able to send my son to private school. I'll be able to travel. I'll be able to, pay off my student loans. Once they're in that place, you want to ask them, okay, well, how long, actually what you would say is, it seems like this is a priority for you. So most people are going to say yes. And then at that point, you are going to ask them, how long are you willing to wait, or how long do you want to wait to make these changes? So they're going to give you one of 2 answers. They're either going to say, I don't want to wait, I'm going to do it right now. Or they're going to give you an answer that's like, oh, I don't know, later. Most people don't say later. If someone does say later, then you just want to reiterate, hey, you just told me that, you really want to make 10K a month because You want to pay off your bills, you want to send your son to private school, and you want to pay off your student loans. Are you telling me you want to wait for that to happen another 6 months, another year, another 2 years? No, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, wow, that's pretty harsh. Like, I probably wouldn't go there. But I think it's our job on that call to go there and really explore that. Like, why are you telling me that you want all these things, but you're not willing to do what it takes to make those changes? On the other hand, if they say now, or I want things to change now, let them know about your program. At that point is where you're going to say, awesome, I think I have the solution for you. Would you like to hear more about it? Get their permission first. This is something that is taught in a lot of sales courses, is to just always stay with them every step of the way. Asking permission is exactly what we did in the beginning of the call when we let them know, what this call is about. This call is to see if we're a good fit to work together. Is that correct? Yes. You want to make sure you're always on the same page with them and you're not too far ahead. So that is pretty much it. You would tell them about your program at that point. I usually don't say the price at this point. I usually just let them know this is what you're going to get. This is how you're going to feel afterwards. These are the possibilities. This is my promise to you. And then at that point, they'll usually ask, like, what's the investment? How much does it cost? Once you get to that point, you can give them the cost. And if you are really comfortable and confident, you just stay quiet. A mistake I feel like a lot of coaches make, and I made it in the beginning, was I kind of jumped the gun. Like, I would say, oh, it's $2,500, but I have payment plans, or it's $2,500, but I can do it for $2,000 automatically without even giving them an opportunity to say what they need to say. So give them the price, wait for them to respond. And then usually at this point, obviously, is where you're going to have your objections. They might say, I don't have the money, I have to check with my husband. Then you can kind of ask them, if money wasn't an issue, would you be able to, or would this be the program for you? If they say yes, then you want to really explore that further and find out what it really is that's stopping them. Another thing you can do if somebody goes off into I'll think about it land is to offer them a fast acting bonus. So you can either offer them that bonus, just right on the phone call and say, I really like to reward people that are fast acting and ready to make changes in their life. So I'm going to offer you for our first session to be a VIP session, a 3-hour intensive. Or maybe you give them another course or a program, or maybe you give them something extra. I wouldn't discount. I would definitely make sure that it is a bonus rather than a discount when you're doing this, but give them some incentive to make that decision right away. I really would encourage you to get that yes on the phone. Get them to that point as soon as you make your offer. Get them to say either yes or no. And you can even say to them, if I just want to make sure that, if this is not a yes today, that it's a complete no. You want to get an answer. 9 times out of 10, when people go off and they go to think about it, or they need to check with their husband, it's an excuse and they don't come back. I mean, I've had a couple of people come back, and I usually give people like 24 hours just because, the investment to work with me is a lot higher. So if you are, do have like a higher ticket thing, then maybe somebody can't make a $15,000 decision on the spot. Maybe they need a little bit of time. So you can let them know the fast acting bonus is good for 24 hours. So if you let me know, by the end of the day tomorrow, you'll get the fast acting bonus. So, but either way, try to get that answer right on the phone, because I feel like, yes, you can still sell in the follow-up if you want to send them a follow-up email, but the chances are a lot slimmer than being able to talk through it with them and really explore these things with them while they're on the phone with you. So those are my tips for the discovery calls. I hope it was helpful. There is also another module in GGG. It is module 2, where I talk about the discovery calls and how you can position them, where you can promote them, and I also talk a little bit more about how you can actually have these conversations. So I hope that was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, just post them in the group, tag me, and we'll work through it. And good luck booking your clients.